Now this is the last video. On the other previous video I said that the other one was going to be the last video, but I'm sorry, I lied. This is the last video. On this one we're going to cover how to set it up so we can cut it, and we can have a standard size of the cut. Um, so just follow the steps and have it ready to cut. So this is, by now you should have everything with the right layer and all the multileaders calling out all the materials. Now we're going to go to layout because we're going to set it to a certain size to print it. Now more than likely you have this or something similar to that. Disregard or put it to the side, and I want you to do a new box. You want to call it like that, a new box. I'm going to do a P line, and we're going to cut our new, or the cut of the actual mat board. It's going to be 10.5 by 14. Okay, so 10.5 by 14. Okay, so this is going to be our cut here. So we're going to put that one on the cut layer. Okay. Now I'm going to go in from this one 1/4 of an inch. And since it's a P line, it's all together, it's going to do all of them at once and do another one. Now I'm just doing this. I'm going to put this into the trace, or you're going to put it on the trace, just for our aesthetic purposes. Okay, we're going to put like a little frame here. That's the only reason, right? Now we want to show the actual detail, the detail you just made, or you made already. Here is where we're going to set it up to scale. So for us to do that, we're going to have to open a viewport. Okay, a single viewport, and I'm going to go from here to, actually, before I do that, I want you to well, mm, 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 mm. Okay, before we open the viewport, what I'm going to have you do is go ahead, and we're going to use one of this layers. Now to open the viewport, before I do that, I want us to create a viewport layer that we don't have here, just so that that viewport that we open doesn't get cut or trace. So go to layers, properties. All right, it's gonna open. What you want to do is do a new layer right here, and we have, more than likely, you have gone over this in your basic CAD. So we're just gonna call it VP for viewport. The color, we're gonna put it to, I think we have it as cyan. Okay, but here in the printer, let me open this. Here in the printer, on that one, I want you to turn off the printer like that. Okay, so we're gonna use that layer, but it's not gonna print. That's what we want. Okay, so do that. Close this. Now we're gonna go and select that viewport layer that we made right here. And now with that one, now we're gonna create our viewport. So make sure you have viewport selected here in your layer. Right. So now let's type in viewports. We're gonna create a single viewport, and we're gonna go from this interior line to the bottom. Okay. Now the viewport is open. I want to double click and go find your section, and the scale we're gonna give it, it's gonna be 3/4 scale. So 3/4 equals a foot, and just go ahead and bring it down. Try to center as best as you can. All right, maybe a little more this way. Okay. Make sure again that you don't lose the scale. If you zoom in or out, it's going to lose the scale. So make sure you put it at as 330 seconds. Oops, 330 seconds. Now notice that I'm going to click outside to make sure that the scale is locked. There you go. So the viewport is closed. Now if I zoom in, zoom out, I don't lose the viewport. But notice here that our lines here don't show the way they should. In model space they do, but in paper space they don't. So this is what I want you to do. You're going to type PSLT scale. You're going to put it to 0, enter, and then you want to go again inside the viewport and type RE for region, enter, and there you go. It's going to fix that. Later on in your basic CAD, we're going to talk about this that I just did, but for the purpose of this video, just do it. Okay. Double click outside to close it. So now it's showing, make sure it shows the insulation the way you should. Okay, the last step, I want you in here in paper space, I want you to do some text, add some text here. So I'm going to put text, a single line text. I'm going to put here, and I'm going to get an eyeball and put it right toward the center. Actually, let's just do this. Justify, middle, bottom center, right here. Bottom center, BC. We're going to click on this midpoint right here. Height is going to be 1/2. Okay, so just follow the steps that I'm doing. Enter. Rotation angle 0. And here we're going to type wall section detail. Enter twice. There you go. It's going to be right in the center. Okay, now I don't want you to use this font. We're going to create a new font, or a new text style, not a font, a text style. And I want everybody to have the same font. So go to style and create a new one. I don't think I have it. No, people have a bunch of them. Create a new one right here. Call it Century Gothic, and go ahead and select Century Gothic font right here. So that we're going to use that font, and we're going to put it bold like that. Okay, once you do that, so we created a new text style, call it Century Gothic. We put that font, and we put for it to be bold. Put set current and close. And now just click on this text that you just added. Go to the properties. If they're not open, just double click, or right click, I'm sorry. Go to properties. And I want you to here to on style under text. Click here and go ahead and select the one you just did, which is Century Gothic, like that. Now this one, we're going to put it as engrave, like that. Okay. So we're almost done. We're going to have two. We're going to create two mat boards because we want we want to have one that says wall section model. Okay, so once you're here, just go ahead and copy the whole thing to the side. Get rid of the viewport. Okay, that's not the viewport. Let's see. Okay, I'm grabbing everything, so I'm just gonna get rid of all this, and I'll just offset 1/4 again, in, like that. Okay, now this one we're not gonna cut anything because our model is gonna go here. The only thing we're gonna change or cut, or engrave in this case, is gonna be the name. So this one is gonna be wall section model. Okay, so we're gonna cut two pieces. One is gonna cut with the red, and it's gonna. Now here you might say, well, why does it look as a viewport layer? It does, but since we put it for it not to print, it won't come out. Even if you bring it in like this, and you could, so you can see the blue line just to make sure that you see it. when you print it, this line won't come out because we told it on the viewport, on the layer, that we don't want for it to print. Okay, so have it like this: wall section detail, bottom center justify in the middle, and then change and put wall section model. Here on this one again, we're gonna cut it. We're gonna put our model, the one you did, and then on the next side, on the other side, we're gonna have this laser cut. So have it like this when you come to me to get it cut, and it's gonna be ready to go. From here, we just send it and start cutting. So bring mat board. I did two, and I'm gonna give you the option to do either white mat board or black mat board. Okay, the white kind of looks pretty cool, but it's gonna be up to you. You can choose either do it white cut this on white mat board or black mat board. We're gonna mount this on a white foam board. So if you wanted to have a big, like very big contrast, then do black. If you want it for it to look cleaner and more not as drastic, then go with white. Okay, but I'm gonna have you choose. You can either do black or do white, but you have to do either. If you do black, both of them have to be black. If you do white, both of them have to be white. Okay, so bring it like this when you're ready to go, and we can cut it. Okay, so this is the last video for sure. Okay, thank you and enjoy. I hope you have enjoyed this project.